Yep.
All right, and we're going to get right into this. Somebody hitting a guide button, but you know what? These guys are pros. They're going to get that out of the screen. And once again, we have Chosen1 using Hayate. That seems to be his favorite character for Dead or Alive 5 because Brad Wong isn't in it, which is usually his favorite character. And sWooZie is using Kasumi.
Yep, you know, and Chosen1 might not be fully proficient with the Hayate, but he certainly knows how to get that damage.
Yeah, Hayate plays a lot like Dead or Alive 4, you know, so it's not, I'm sure he just kind of went with a comfortable character.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, when you don't have your character readily available and you're trying out a new game, just anything you know that's familiar. Oh!
That was a really good combo. That was a 12-hit combo coming out of Chosen1. He seems to actually have learned Hayate to the extent where he knows the gravity of Kasumi, so that way, before she falls on the ground, he is getting every last amount of damage he can from her.
Yep, that's right. You know, Kasumi is a very lightweight character, so you can often get much higher damaging juggles against her than other characters.
Ah. All right, well, here we go. They're at it again, and sWooZie seems to be losing this one. Chosen1 has got the momentum here, but he is not giving up. Nice counter by sWooZie there. That's all Chosen1 needed to finish sWooZie off, but he did exactly what he needed to come back and win that one. That was very surprising on sWooZie's part.
Very lucky, too, after he whiffed that power blow. That was really risky.
Yeah, sWooZie likes to throw out those power blows, we've noticed.
Yeah, right at the end, every time.
he likes to put a little flair on it.
Yep,
Very
certainly does.
stylish. All right, well, he's got him up against the wall. He's putting on this extreme pressure. You know, I really like the way that Chosen1 is playing today. He is definitely using Hayate. I think, you know, he's kind of adapted. He's definitely seemed to have leveled up a bit.
Yeah, he certainly has. And, you know, I noticed he's been using Hayate to do these quick pushback moves into the, you know, the more painful danger zones and walls. He's really been using that environmental damage to his advantage here.
And that was a very good down forward right trigger, as I'm going to call it. I believe it's P plus K, but unfortunately I only know the controls that I input with Hayate. And he went right over his low wake up kick, and that's what's great about Hayate, is that he has these properties that allow you to kind of soar across map.
Yeah, he really does. He's a very good mid-range character. And, you know, if he can get you into a wall at mid-range, you know, he'll just keep you there, and you take up the damage so fast.
Yeah, I noticed Hayate, though, in this one, he seems to, he has maybe a couple more glitches than a few other characters, but I don't know if maybe his moves are slower than the other ninjas, but I was having a little bit of difficulty, or maybe it was just because you were extremely amazing with Bayman last night. But getting right back into this match, sWooZie was dominating Chosen1 in this round, and there goes sWooZie getting off that last 5-hit combo to take that 3-2, but that was extremely close.
Yeah, that was. I mean, sWooZie is definitely no slouch, and you know, he's not going to give it up that easily, but Chosen1 is still a threat here. If he can start off these big damaging combos into those flaming danger zones there, you know, he's going to rack it up real fast.
Very nice wake up on, on Chosen1's part. He forced Kasumi to get off the ground, which is very good in a pressure situation. And sWooZie, you know, he's doing his best to put on the aggression, but Chosen1 is putting out some great blocks and knowing exactly what he needs to beat out sWooZie's moves.
I'm just seeing this here. There's that flaming wall again, and it's just
that was a lot.
Yes,
that was a lot of damage. Very good spacing by Chosen1. Gets the first round. It is now 1-1, 1-0 in Chosen1's favor.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the wall is really at Hayate's strength with DOA 5 right now. He can just get an opponent there from so many different ranges. And it's so much damage. The relaunch potential right here alone.
Wow. That was really good on Chosen1's part. He definitely is putting a lot of pressure when it comes to using these walls to his advantage. As you can see, they were free canceling those power blows there. That's what we were talking about earlier. Very nice blocking too on Chosen1's part. But it doesn't matter because sWooZie takes that round.
Here it is. I have noticed a few times yesterday that they were sort of playing chicken with each other when it came to the power blows.
Right.
I always wondered, you know, when I learned that you could sidestep those, just to what extent it would be used, and I guess there is an actual reasonable application for it in high-level play.
Ah. Oh, and this is, oh, he didn't finish it there, but that is actually Hayate's new Raijin. For any of you that know Hayate, he had this Raijin in DOA 4, and it was so hard to pull off. I never was able to do it, but now here in Dead or Alive 5, it's actually quite easy.
Yeah, it's actually just the same two directions pushed over again and again. In the old one, it was like across, and then an X.
Yeah, it was up, down, left, right, and then you had to do
all the diagonals.
Yeah, and then you had to do all the diagonals. But in this one, it's actually grab, forward, forward, grab, back, forward, forward, grab, which is a lot easier to input.
No, definitely. I still have nightmares about the Raijin.
Well, here we go. Chosen1 is putting on the pressure to even this out. It is now 2-2. You know, it really is going back and forth between these two. Nobody is really dominating this.
Yeah, well, remember, they are good friends, so they do know each other's playstyle fairly well, especially with DOA 5 in particular.
Right.
sWooZie, you know, he just picked up Kasumi again, but not a whole lot has changed about her except for those teleport moves, so it's not going to be terribly, you know, difficult for Chosen1 to pick up on this.
Well, Chosen1 needs to pick up on this round because he is definitely at a disadvantage, and all he needs is this juggle, and he got the juggle he needed to finish off Chosen1. That's all he needed was that launch.